as we pick up the action on our special championship wrestling show featuring Jerry the King Lawler. You see him in action right now in the sports arena at Tupelo, Mississippi. And his opponent, that weird one, Dr. Frank. Referee Paul Morton. 2 out of 3 fall match. Lawler won the first fall of action. Dr. Frank, deceptive. While he does not have much mobility, he can whack you with those arms and he'll ring your bell. Lawler blocked that methodical right hand, zinged one back at him. Once again, Lawler wards off that clubbing right hand and nails him with a right of his own. Young wrestler, someone with less experience, might be lulled into some real trouble. And a third time, Lawler uses speed to overcome the power of Dr. Frank. Younger wrestler with lesser experience might be lulled into thinking this guy, no way that he's going to be able to get him, and he'll swing at you until he clubs you into insensibility if you don't watch him. Lawler pointing something and saying something to referee Paul Morton about checking him over to be certain that he doesn't have some kind of a foreign object with him. Capacity House in the sports arena in Tupelo, Mississippi. Referee looked like he was going to get buried under that sheepskin rug that Dr. Frank wears there as a covering. Backs Lawler to the ropes. Ooh, nailed him with it. And you see, it put somebody of Lawler's capacity down to the floor. Referee checking him over to see if there was something other than just an arm in there. Satisfied with his inspection, we're ready for action. They tie up right on the ropes. The referee said break it up, and Dr. Frank comes away, leaving Lawler on his knees. Coming after him again, and he booms him with that forearm. Again, knocks him across the ring. No science. He just batters. Once again, Lawler down on his knees, shakes his head and gets away from him. He needs to stay further away than that. And Dr. Frank continues his assault with that right arm. Lawler holding on to the ropes. The referee over, grabs him at the arm as he moves back in on Lawler. Pounds him. Lawler, winner of the first fall, takes a big elbow drop, and that's just about as much mobility as you're going to see Dr. Frank display. But again, don't let that fool you. Slams Lawler's head into the turnbuckle. Ooh, Lawler with that upper arm takes a big right hand. That put him flat on his back. Dr. Frank elects not to go for a pin. Whips him into the ropes. Misses with that big arm. Lawler stiffed him with a right hand off the ropes. Once again using the ropes. He catches him again, and Dr. Frank about to go down, and he does. Lawler puts him flat on his back. And as he gets up, he puts him down again. Drops on him with the arm. The King making his move right now. Dr. Frank has withstood some real shots from Lawler. Backdrop, and he takes him over. Lawler goes to the top rope, or rather the middle one. Drops down with that big fist. This may be at 1, 2, 3. He got it. Louie. The King, after being in trouble early in the second fall and after having won the first fall, clubbed around pretty good with Dr. Frank. Took advantage of the wild swinging Frico to come back and nailing himself with a series of right-hand shots, elbows, and so forth. And so the winner officially, Jerry the King Lawler, in 2 straight falls over Dr. Frank. We've got more wrestling action. We'll see Jerry Lawler involved in a tag team action against the Wrecking Crew coming up right after we take the big main event. Sports Arena, Tupelo, Mississippi. Capacity crowd. And in this corner, the Wrecking Crew of Al Costello, Dennis Condrey on the left, and Big Phil Hickerson on the right. Sweet Stuff, he calls himself. And right there is young Robert Gibson. In the corner with him, but down on the floor at the moment, Jerry the King Lawler. And this is the third of the matches of Lawler that you're seeing on our championship wrestling today. This being a tag match. Al Costello with his 4th member of the crew, the Boomerang, off to the left by Hickerson and Condrey. Referee Paul Morton checks to be certain that he is in his chair. He is indeed. And says, let's get at it. Hickerson out of the corner. Robert Gibson out. Robert Gibson, who a couple of weeks ago was really popped around by Hickerson. He caught him on the outside of the ring. He roughed him up pretty good. And Robert has not been one to pass an opportunity to get another crack at Phil Hickerson. Crowd loving it. You see Lawler tearing up a picture of the Wrecking Crew and doing it with glee. The superstar Billy Dundee was scheduled to be here with the King, and Lawler feeds him a mouthful of it. The King rushes over there and crammed the torn up picture right into Hickerson's mouth. And Dennis Condrey standing by saying, now is that any way to be? Robert Gibson follows suit. We were saying Dundee was scheduled to be Lawler's partner, but due to an altercation that Dundee had with Norvell Austin in a previous television match, Dundee had some problems with the promoters, wanted to get Norvell back into a single match. Robert Gibson really jumped at the chance to join the King against Hickerson and Condrey. It is our plans next week to have the Norvell Austin Billy Superstar Dundee confrontation on Championship Wrestling. We hope you'll be looking. Confetti out of the Lawler Gibson corner. This is the first fall. We're 3.5 minutes into it, and really the action has been minimal. Referee Paul Morton telling Al Costello to take his boomerang. Well, I don't know really what he was telling him, but the gist of it was, go sit in your chair, Al. Boy, we really got some picture tearing going on. I think the ring is, they're going to have to wade through pictures of Hickerson and Condrey, the wrecking crew, in order to get across the ring. Robert Gibson says, look, there's Hickerson's head. I'd like to put it down there for real. Leuke. Dennis Condrey in. They had a few comments, and that's all. Referee Paul Morton doing a little housekeeping job in there. I'm surprised that Hickerson waited. I figured maybe while Robert Gibson was looking, he would come over and slug him one. That's his style. Arm drag, beauty. And Hickerson said, no, no. He grabbed me right by the sweet stuff and flipped me over and down on the canvas. They tie it up into the ropes. Hickerson whips him around. Misses the right hand. Another one. Rolling arm lock. Referee Paul Morton says, did you use the hair? Nope. There's a tag on Phil's darling, Dennis Condrey. They tie it up, Gibson and Condrey. Gibson was going behind with a wrist lock. Condrey stopped him and went for the hair himself. Ooh, right down on his knees goes Dennis. Into the ropes. Condrey down hard. Over. Good move, Robert. The King, you've already seen him in action in 2 matches thus far on our channel. Lawler stopped him up short, and Gibson, as he turned around, hooked that arm and took him right over and down. In case you just joined us, I'm sorry. A little bit earlier, we had a chance to see a portion of the World Heavyweight Championship title bout when Lawler challenged Harley Race. You then saw Lawler taking the second and decisive fall against Dr. Frank as Gibson goes down. Nice move, kicks Hickerson out. With that arm drag, he hooked it and rolled with it, took him right over on it. Robert hanging onto a bar now on Hickerson's arm. No, not that kind of bar. An arm bar, and he has it up tight right at the shoulder. Ooh, Phil with a friendly friend in his hand. That boomerang. Now he tags out on Condrey. While Al Costello, being confined to the chair at ringside, has helped, they still get pretty sneaky in exchanging that boomerang. Gibson hanging in there and doing it well. Condrey going to the hair, and referee Paul Morton on the wrong side to see it. Corrects that, and Gibson comes around. Bars Condrey's arm up tight at the shoulder. We're almost 8.5 minutes in to the first fall of action. A 2 out of 3 falls, 60-minute time limit bout. Clobbered pretty good. Hickerson, more than likely the thumb. Phil has a very slick way of using that doubled fist and the thumb sticking out to drive it home. And he can hurt you with it. Dennis Condrey bending Robert Gibson back over the ropes. And here comes Lawler. He's going to help his partner out. Gibson moves in behind, goes for the sleeper hold. Condrey catches him from behind while the referee is trying to get Lawler back around the corner to his corner. Whip to the ropes. Big elbow. Condrey goes for a pin. One. Robert kicks his way out. Robert trying to get a tag. You can see him stretching to reach Lawler, but he's still about a foot 14 inches away from the tag. Zings in. Condrey right back, takes a right to the stomach, but Hickerson comes in after a legal tag and really aces Robert Gibson with that right. Misses one. Beautiful drop kick. Robert Gibson hammered into the corner. And it's a reversal on Hickerson. Jerry Lawler into the ring. Pow! Nails Condrey. He'll be run right back out again, though, and Gibson still caught in there as Hickerson working on him. Condrey distracting the referee. And over there at the side, that's a bad spot where you're near Al Costello. Bang! Robert Gibson. Gibson down. Fired right straight over that top rope as the referee, you could see across the way, trying to get Phil Hickerson back into the corner. Jerry Lawler explaining to referee Paul Morton how he catapulted him over that top rope. And obviously Condrey is going to say nothing but, not me. The second rope maybe, but not the top rope. Yep, that was what he was signifying. We're coming up on 12 minutes into the first fall of action. And of course, as usual, we'll bring you just as much action time as we have on Championship Wrestling. This one a special one. And there's Lawler. I was just going to say we're using 3 of Lawler's matches. And in this one, he's been very little of it. Count of 1, 2, 3, and he got him just as Lawler arrived on the scene. 12 minutes, 15 seconds. Jerry the King Lawler just a little late, and the first fall goes to Hickerson and Condrey. The official winners, Phil Hickerson, Dennis Condrey. Well, it was a tough fall. They kept Robert Gibson in there the entire time. Robert very strong through the early part, better than halfway through the first fall of action. Then when he tried to get to Lawler, they, of course, did the smart thing, keep him away from it. So the official winners, the Wrecking Crew in the first fall in 12 minutes and 15 seconds. We're going to be back with more. Okay, action time. That's what we got. Second fall, the Wrecking Crew. Al Costello's boys, Dennis Condrey, Phil Hickerson. There's Al being sent back to his chair by the referee. And Robert Gibson, the loser of the first fall, and Jerry the King Lawler. Loser always faces the winner to start a fall of the previous fall. Condrey and Gibson. Gibson, after a mighty effort in the first fall, was finally pinned by Condrey. Could not get his tag out, and there goes Phil Hickerson with a 2 count, and Robert kicked out just in the nick of time. Here's another cover, Lawler in this time. Well, yeah, there's the tag on the King, and that's what the folks have been waiting on. Jerry the King Lawler pounding away on Condrey. Lawler stomps firmly. Robert Gibson back in, a double throw. Robert underneath. Beautiful drop kick. And that's it. Jerry the King Lawler, Robert Gibson. Come through with a quick second fall win, and what a dandy it was. So that makes it all even, 1 fall apiece in his 2 out of 3 fall 60-minute time limit bout. The official winners of the second fall, Lawler and Gibson. We're going to check our time, and we're going to be back right after we take time out for this. The action is underway. Third and deciding fall. This is the hill fall. First fall went to the Wrecking Crew. The second fall to Lawler and Gibson. We're in the third fall. Referee Paul Morton trying to keep a little order. Not easy, not by a long shot. Hickerson whaled Lawler with a big right hand. In the elbow. Lawler banged into the ropes. There comes Dennis Condrey down while Hickerson leads the referee away. Phil picks him up. Dennis nails him. After the tag, it's Condrey taking over. Hickerson and Condrey, like no one better in all of wrestling to pound on than Jerry the King Lawler. And Hickerson with that big elbow back arms him. Condrey distracting the referee as Robert Gibson comes down to the corner. Hickerson covers Lawler, count of 1, that's all. He was doing the count, and Robert Gibson came in, got him in the back. Lawler down face first in the corner closest to us. Condrey covers, and Robert Gibson comes flying in there. The young fella helping out well in this third fall, while Lawler is the one in there. And you saw Hickerson whip that boomerang around him while Condrey has the official off on the other side of the ring. And here comes Dennis back along with referee Paul Morton. Ooh, and Lawler ducks. Condrey bangs his own partner as Lawler ducked out of the way of that right hand. Condrey didn't miss with that one, though, nor that one. Lawler returns with a big right. Hickerson puts him down, took a step through the rope, leaned really, and bopped him. Condrey. Outside the ropes, distracting the referee. Once again, the same tactics as Hickerson uses the boomerang. Backhands it out to Al Costello. Count of 1, and that's all he got was 1.5 when Gibson came in. We're about 3.5 minutes into the third fall of action. We'll carry just as much of it as we possibly can. Lawler comes after Phil. Gibson in there, whamming away on Dennis Condrey. Lawler getting a couple of hands full of Hickerson, while Robert Gibson is having a picnic with Dennis Condrey. Boy, there is a big right, 2, 3, and Lawler covers Phil Hickerson, nails Al Costello. Phil Hickerson messed up by Lawler, but good. Now Hickerson taking it out on Gibson, while Lawler was popped once, twice by Al Costello, and there's Condrey over after Lawler. Robert Gibson swinging a wild right, nailing Hickerson. Phil Hickerson takes one from Robert Gibson. Oh, he likes that. But Lawler being hammered by Dennis Condrey, while Hickerson and Costello have a hold of Robert Gibson. Boy, the action just continues. The bell has rung several times, indicating the end of it. The official bout ended up about 4 minutes and 32 seconds. With Lawler and Gibson being the winner. But the action continues. Robert Gibson being slashed by Hickerson and Costello. Lawler climbing back into the ring with a chair. He zeroes in on Phil Hickerson, and the wrecking crew head for the showers. Here comes Lawler out of the ring after him. Robert Gibson following by, and the official winners, having won the second. They're tearing up at the locker room down there, and Hickerson and Condrey trying to disappear and get out of it. But they're still going at it. I hope our broadcast booth survives. They're fighting out in the hallway, by the concession stand, and everywhere. They are really banging away. We can hear the noise. They're back by the concession stand. There goes the table over that had all of the candy on it. And this bitter feud continues well past the ring, out into the hall and anywhere else they can get a hold of each other. And what a wild brawl between Hickerson, Condrey, Lawler. They're back here. Eddie Marlin trying to get him out. Whoa! Robert Gibson, as the crowd outside. Here comes Lawler back over the counter in the concession stand. He nails Hickerson. Gibson slammed down into the candies. Dennis Connery jumped on by Lawler. You can't see it because our cameras are outside. Referee Paul Morton, Eddie Marlin trying to get him out. Lawler working on Dennis Connery. And so the brawl goes on. And we're going to have to get it out as our time is running out. We're going to hope that it gets over with quickly, and we're going to be... Well, we are at the end. And for a while, I was not sure we would ever get here, as a matter of fact. I think we would have to term the last of the battle to be the championship brawling of the week. Because, you know, it's great. You sit here and say, boy, you should have seen what happened. And you can't because we couldn't get our cameras to it. They ended up in the concession stand, busted out the window of the popcorn machine, candy everywhere. You wouldn't believe the mess that took place, and they were still battling. Blood everywhere from Hickerson and Condrey and from Robert Gibson and the King, and it was some kind of a mess. Officially, let's put it this way. The way the bout came out, the first ball went to the team of Hickerson and Condrey, Al Costello's wrecking crew, defeating Robert Gibson. Lawler and Gibson came back with a quick 2-minute and 55-second win in the second fall of action. And then the third fall really got grinding away as they pounded each other from pillar to post, boomerang to head, and everywhere else. And ultimately, after it was all over with, ended up in the concession stand. The winners, Lawler and Gibson's. Next week, we'll see you. Bye-bye.
About this time, he retired from the ring. But after handsome Jimmy Valiant smashed a guitar over the back of your head during one of your concerts, you decided...
I didn't go for that.
No, you decided it was time to return to the ring, but this time with a different outlook. But...
the people like me.
That's right. But even with the people behind you and that different outlook, all your problems weren't solved, as this match with Jean-Louis shows.
Now, one thing I want to say about this match is I learned on the end of it, when you have your hair at stake and you win the match, the other fella gets his hair cut, don't stand around and laugh at the end of the match. You need to go in the dressing room.
Lawler has caused a lot of people to have their hair cut. He's never lost his. Lawler up in the air. Louie throws him on the ropes. This is how he beat him before. He covers him. 1, 2. But his foot's up on the rope. That was the way Louie beat him before. Jean-Louis fires him into the turnbuckles. Louie misses Lawler with that shoulder and hits the turnbuckle. Lawler edging over, gets an arm over. 1, 2, 3. He got him. Well, there he is. Jean-Louis, the big French-Canadian. And you see the barber, Mr. Leg, our resident barber, who is running the clippers up through the massive head of hair of the big French-Canadian, who still is burning mad. And, oh, yeah, now you can see it starting to fall. The locks are going, and Jean-Louis is burning a hole in Jerry Lawler. His gaze has not come off of Lawler. He really is hot. In a moment, he'll be around here on his side, and you can see some of it go down. That's a funny thing. On this side, looking at him, it doesn't look like he's had a haircut. The other side, he's bald. That is one mad French-Canadian right there, Jean-Louis. Right there in front. Boy, look at those eyes. Woo! Does that tell a tale? He is ready to have somebody good. And that's him. Woo. Man, he looks roughing out, and he did. Jean-Louis reaches out and grabs Sonny King. Boy, he's hot. Do not want to get near him tonight. Lawler was standing down here. We were just making a PA announcement, again repeating the official time in 12:15. And Lawler was standing down here when Joe LeDuc, the other big Canadian, who's a close friend of Jean-Louis, came flying in here.
Oh, boy, I tell you, I see what you mean about not standing around.
I should have left.
Watching the guy getting his head shaved.
And
yeah.
Joe LeDuc came in and caused me some problems.
Joe LeDuc, strange guy, another big French-Canadian guy, huge guy, and probably one of the toughest guys that you've ever faced.
And he was one of the craziest, too, and I think this tape will probably show you why.
Okay. His final bout, a strap match. Handsome Jimmy. Joe LeDuc. Jimmy has a strap on his wrist. LeDuc will not put it on. In the strap match, of course, that long strap is around the wrist of each wrestler so that he can't get very far away. They will use that strap in the match to both jerk a wrestler around, and Handsome Jimmy has it. Referee Paul Morton trying to get LeDuc to put it on, and he wouldn't do it. Handsome Jimmy just grabs the strap, wraps it around his hand. Handsome Jimmy backs referee Paul Morton up. Joe LeDuc says, go away, I don't want to put the strap on. Bam, and Jimmy nails him with that strap, puts him down. Jimmy has it on his wrist, and Joe again belted by Handsome Jimmy. Joe LeDuc, his head busted open where Valiant has laced him with that strap. Bang, he nailed him again. Handsome Jimmy goes cowboy as the referee back in the corner. Sonny King coming over saying, get it away from him. Jimmy whipping on Joe now. He's cranking it up. And belts LeDuc with it. Goes down after him with that strap in his hand at his throat. Holds LeDuc down while a referee can put it on his arm. They're about to get it on. Over there it is on the wrist of Joe LeDuc. So now LeDuc with it on one end, Handsome Jimmy on the other end. And Joe LeDuc bleeding from about the head as Jimmy trying to pull him back in the ring after LeDuc has jumped out. And the action, just the way we thought it would be, wild and woolly. Boy, they are flat at it. Jimmy Valiant going to down on him. Here comes big Jean-Louis, Leduc's partner. Jimmy tags him. Goes after him with a strap on the outside of it. Referee Paul Morton trying to get him back. As Leduc, and isn't even supposed to be, Louis is not even supposed to be near it. Big Joe from behind rattles Jimmy. 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be it.
7 minutes, 12 seconds. The winner of the bout is Joe Leduc. 7-12, Joe Leduc.
Joe Leduc telling Jean-Louis after it's official in 7 minutes, 12 seconds, telling Louis to get down. They wrap. Leduc has his belt off, racked around Valiant's throat. Louis has it wrapped around his feet, and they have Valiant suspended. Here comes Lawler. Jerry Lawler comes flying in the ring, throws the fire at Joe Leduc's face, and helps Jimmy Valiant away from that ring. Leduc thrashing around in agony. Sonny King and Louie trying to help him. And there goes Leduc back to the dressing room. And Lawler standing with handsome Jimmy Valiant. So a fiery end to a bout that really was something else for you to see. Just a tremendous action-packed bout. Can't tell you that there was anything in the way of scientific wrestling on it. It was a bout that had evolved from some problems that Valiant and Leduc had. Jimmy Valiant asked for a strap match with Joe Leduc. The promoter is always willing to capitalize on a couple of guys that want to get at it. Said, all right, and that's exactly what they did. They added the match to tonight's action. The bout was not on the program. It's what they call a lights out match, and that does not mean that they turn the lights out. You always found some clowns around that are interested in. See if we can get some security guys anywhere around to help us keep this thing clean. John, can we get some security guys? Just wonder if we can get some security guys to keep this clean. Thank you, John. We wanted to say that the bout was set. It's called a lights out match, and a lot of people think that the lights are turned out. They are not, in fact. They are left on because, man, I'll tell you, I don't want to be in any place with Jimmy Valiant and Joe Leduc going at it with the lights out. And so the bout was set. It was added to tonight's action. And then it's when it all started. They came in with a big long strap with loops on each side of it. The referee, with no problem at all, got it on Handsome Jimmy's wrist. Joe Leduc refused to put it on his wrist, and therefore Handsome Jimmy decided to take over. He took that long strap away from the referee, wrapped it up around his fist, and then he went over to Joe Leduc and started wailing Leduc. He tapped him, nailed him, and then he started on him again. And from there on, it was strictly a Donnybrook type. Leduc out of the ring and bleeding. Finally, Handsome Jimmy got him back in there. Leduc, with a football-type charge, blocked Handsome Jimmy down to the canvas for his first offensive effort. Started to work on him very, very hard. And it was a question of only getting rougher and tougher. Handsome Jimmy came back after being in difficulty. Looked like he might have had Leduc going again, when Jean-Louis, the tag team partner of Joe Leduc, came flying out of the dressing room, bounced down to the ring, up on the ring apron, and then Handsome Jimmy met him with a vicious right hand, put him down on the ring apron, and started to work on him with that strap around his wrist. Leduc had long since taken it off of his wrist. And as Handsome Jimmy was involved with Jean-Louis, it was then that Joe Leduc took advantage of it. He had pulled his belt off, wrapped it around his hand, and he busted Jimmy from behind. He then rolled him down over. The referee had been trying to get Louie out of there. He finally succeeded in doing that, and he came back, and past the 7-minute mark, it was a victory for Jean-Louis. Well, that wasn't all of it. I mean, for Joe Leduc. That wasn't all of it by a long shot. With Valiant laid out, Louie wrapped the strap around his feet. Leduc wrapped his belt around his neck. They picked him up and swung him in hammock style. And with Sonny King chanting at the side, onward, onward with him, then it was Jerry the King Lawler who, with his bad leg and all, came flying out, jumped to the ring, and out of nowhere came that fireball that caught Joe Leduc right smack in the face. Well, sir, it was then that Leduc went out of the ring. Louie and King got him to the dressing room. We'll be back with some final comments in a moment. We're going to be set in a couple of minutes to go down to the ring for the first fall of the big main event. This is one that a lot of folks and a great crowd on hand tonight in Tupelo, Mississippi to see. Billy the Superstar Dundee, tough little Australian, going against a rugged Canadian lumberjack Joe Leduc. That first fall action will begin in a moment. A little bit earlier, we didn't have time to take it all. Well, we thought you would be interested in seeing the contest called an arm pulling contest. Now, in this match, the entire idea is Joe Leduc puts some cuffs on, one on each arm, with a rope at the end of each cuff. He gets himself into a bear hug position, locking his hands. 10 people have been selected from the audience, 5 on each side. They start, they don't jerk it, that's not the way it goes. They have to have a steady, slow pull to see if the 10 men have the strength to pull the hands of Big Joe Leduc apart. Here's what the exciting couple of minutes of action with that arm pulling contest and Joe Leduc looked like. Well, that's what it looked like when 10 guys pitted their strength against Joe Leduc's bear hug. One interesting note in there, in looking back on it, the strap on the right-hand side, actually right at the end of it, the strap, and he was successful in being able to keep the 10 men from pulling that bear hug apart. Okay, Jimmy and Johnny going against Dundee and Nelson Royal, the world's junior heavyweight champion, Leduc against Lawler, and that's the action Monday. Well, hey, come on now, Joe. We've had enough trouble in the studio here, and Joe Leduc, who will be challenging.
I'm tired of having anybody and everybody say that I'm sick and I'm crazy. Shut up, I'm gonna talk. Jerry Lawler, you said on this television right here that I was afraid to come here because you were here. Well, I'm gonna show you, punk. I'm here, and now is better than ever. Come and get me. Come and get me. And now, Jerry Jarrett, yeah, you're my boss. You want to fire me? That's fine. But nobody is going to stop me from going to that Coliseum Monday night. You can fire me anytime you want after Monday night. Jerry Lawler, you just saw that film. You just paid how much money you paid those people to show that film where you double-crossed me. I had you beat right down the middle. Yeah. And after the match, Jarrett, you can fire me.
Okay, man. The guy just loses touch with reality. That's all there is to it. He did it. And, well, anyhow, Monday night, that will be Lawler's problem. Tickets available all day till 5 o'clock today, all day on Monday. We got more wrestling action coming up, and we're going to see the King coming in here. He had him a good 6 feet in the air on that backdrop. To the corner, backdrop. He almost went through that floor when that 284 came down. Leduc pounding away on the King. Lawler missed, slammed that shoulder into the post. Now Leduc hammering Lawler once again. Bull with that right hand of Joe Leduc. Big Joe whips him. Oh. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to break him up because they are on the ropes. Now Leduc gets him away from the ropes. Resets his hands. Once again, Leduc with those giant arms lashes him around Lawler, and Lawler retaliates with a right hand. Big Joe. A stinging right hand. Puts Lawler down again. He may have it. 1, 2. And Leduc, who thinks he's the winner, as Lawler tricked him by tapping him on the back. And Lawler with a full press from the top rope. He gets him. Louie right over the top. this outrageous man. We've got to get out of here and talk to handsome Jimmy Valiant. Right out of the Big Apple. And here comes handsome Jimmy.
Woo! Mercy, baby, mercy!
Introduce a young fella up there to big time business. Huh?
Handsome Jimmy wants some action! Woo! Mercy, baby! You know something? I heard Bert lean over to Sally. He said, Sally, let's watch handsome boogie. Woogie! Woo!
I know that you've had some of your intimate friends that you've told us about in the past in the music field, and I guess that had some kind of influence about Handsome Jimmy.
For sure, you know, Bob Seger and myself, Handsome, we just sold out Madison Square Garden, baby, 3 weeks ago. It's a record, Daddy. It's a record for a first indoor concert, baby. The gate was $340,000. They held 25,000 people indoor, baby. Bob Seger and Handsome Jimmy in concert. Woo, baby! Do it, Daddy! You got a little clip right here, baby. I want to get it on. I just want to say something on my ladies out there. Just be cool, baby. Lay back. Don't jump out of them pantyhose and dig it, Daddy.
Yeah, we do have some... All right.
Yes, Daddy, you know, the only place you can hear this record, Daddy, is where the music's at, FM 100 with Ron Olson, Daddy. I want to say something right now, baby. This is what's happening. One shot of this record, Daddy. One shot of this record, baby. It's like taking up a whole pound of Columbia gold. A whole pound, Daddy, and digging it, Daddy. Can you believe it, baby? Woo!
Joined by the King and the Superstar.
That was great, Handsome. Very good, baby.
You know, King, you only say that, baby, because it's the gospel, Daddy. It's the gospel.
Handsome,
it's the
Handsome,
truth.
Handsome.
This is what's
Hey, man.
happening, Daddy.
Handsome, listen.
Handsome. Woo!
Handsome. Hey, come back there for a minute, Jack. Why don't you and the King... Hey, listen. Hey, why don't you and the King get a concert going together, man? Handsome Jimmy and the King.
That'd be cool, baby. That'd be cool, you know. A concert with Handsome Jimmy and the King. I want to tell you what's happening. The King could start the show. He could play some of that hillbilly rock, you know, that Ernest Tubb. You know that Ernest Tubb? He's going like hillbilly heaven. And Handsome Jimmy come on and smoke, baby. He can smoke, Daddy. He can smoke it something like Meatloaf. 2 out of 3 ain't bad with Bobby Seger. Woo! That's it, baby. I know that.
Totally unreal. Never comes out, eh?
You know what this is, Lance?
What you got?
Now, you both know that Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee love women. We love them more now than Miss Louie. Now, this here is a petition, because we do believe that Heather Feather stayed with the bear for 3 minutes, and she gets to wrestle a man, and the King believes it, and I believe it, and if anybody else wants to believe it, just tell them to sign the petition. I believe she can get the match. Would you hang on to this and just get anybody, any of the rest of you want to sign it?
What we want to do with that, Lance, is, you know, as a matter of fact, we talked to Heather Feather before the match, because really, I would like to see this match. A woman wrestling a man, you know, I don't particularly want to wrestle her, but I'd like to see her wrestle somebody. So what we did, we told her, you remember Sam Bass and I, we used to beat the Bears. When we wrestled them, we'd beat the Bear. But I told Heather Feather, I said, look, all you got to do is stay completely away from that bear, because he won't attack you. You know, you got to go in there and try to get the bear. And now the bear can wrestle, but I told her, stay away. She almost got too close a couple of times, but she did stay away. She lasted the 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
So now, just like the promotion agreed, she's going to get a match with a man. We believe she should get it, but apparently they haven't found anybody that'll wrestle her yet. So what we've got here is a petition. And if anybody else believes and agrees that she should get to wrestle a man, just leave this out here and let them sign this petition, and then we'll turn that over to the promotion. They'll know that she's got to get a match, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Well, I'm glad to see you guys are with the women's lib, and I'm sure that Heather Feather appreciates your support in there.
Oh, she will.
The petition, we're going to put it right down here, and if any of the guys want to, as the wrestlers come out here, they want to express the fact that they agree to the fact that Heather Feather should wrestle a man, they can sign the petition and join with those who think that she should. We're going to take time. Hey, Chuck, can you get your boys? Chuck, can you get them up in the ring?
We're ready to go with a match here as soon as they get up in the ring.
Just get them up.
I heard Lawler and Dundee out here running their mouth. Hey, I'm the one that got behind Heather Feather. I got behind her all the way. What do? They come out here and try to jump on my bandwagon. I'm not going to put up with that.
Well, it is true that you did say that you thought Heather Feather ought to have a match with a man. Are you interested in signing the petition?
Yes, sir. I'll sign a petition for it. Petition? Yes, sir.
Right there. The petition's up here and just signed down there. Chuck Malone putting his signature in there to show that he is behind Heather Feather.
She deserves to start with a woman.
Okay, Chuck, thank you very much. Dave, here we go.
All right, this match will be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. One fall only, 15-minute time limit. Introducing at a total weight of 498 pounds from Tombstone, Arizona, with their manager Chuck Malone, the Bounty Hunter. Going against them in this match at a total of 443 pounds from...
Let me interrupt you for just a second, but I see that Chuck Malone... Chuck, I'm sorry, but we made a mistake. I thought we brought out a petition, but it seems we brought out a contract to wrestle Heather. And you signed it, baby. You signed your name to the contract to wrestle Heather Feather, and there it is.
That big fat slide. No, I just signed that contract. You tricked me, Lance Russell. All right, go back there and get it and tear it up.
We got a match in here.
That big old fat thing belongs in a cage out there at the zoo somewhere. You think I'm going to wrestle? How crazy they are.
He did in fact sign it.
He sure did.
Right there.
Never finished the introductions. Bounty Hunters, of course, going against Robert Gibson and Jackie Welch at a total of 443 pounds.
Okay.
Jerry Calhoun is the referee. And I guess we're about ready.
We are about ready, and it's going to be David Novak starting against Robert Gibson in the match. They're looking for a chair for Chuck Malone to sit down in. Because, of course, it isn't... Yeah, he needs a chair. He's got one, I guess, yeah. He's got to be sitting down. Okay, now I think we're appropriately ready, and referee Jerry Calhoun reminding Malone that if he gets up, he is going to be causing the team of the Bounty Hunters to be disqualified. That's David Novak in there with Robert Gibson. Jackie Wells, Robert Gibson. Look at those arm drags coming from the young Pensacola, Florida wrestler. He going up for the monkey flip, and big Jerry Novak just held on to the corner ropes in there and then dropped with that big elbow. Wow. Jackie Wells caught over there in between the two Bounty Hunters. There's a tag on David, and here he comes. Bounty Hunter number one, David Novak, comes up. He planted that foot in there, and did he nail it? Wow. Jackie hammered down with a body slam, elbow drop, and Jackie caught right down across the side of the neck and the pressure point. The referee warning Jerry Calhoun about, or rather, the referee Jerry Calhoun warning David Novak about pulling the hair, and he got a break, but it didn't do Jackie much good. There's a tag on Jerry Novak, and here he comes. As the Bounty Hunter number one is sent back to the corner, whether Jerry was popping what looked like to be a thumb to the throat of Jackie Welch. Jackie now shoots one to the midsection, but is raked across the eyes. Right out of the ring, and there goes Jackie down on the floor. Referee Jerry Calhoun saying, get back, get back. Coming back up again is Jackie Welch, but he is knocked back down, and Robert Gibson comes over there to tell the referee, hey, come on, let him back in the ring. Can't get the count starts again. Once again, Jackie back up on the ring apron, but Jerry pounds him, makes a tag as the referee sends him out of there and telling David to stay back. But David takes over and runs Jackie Welch right down into the corner where Chuck Malone was sitting, and the count starts. And here comes Jerry around to stomp at Jackie Welch. But as he did, Robert Gibson comes flying across the ring and nails Jerry in the is after David. Chuck Malone down in front of us. Jumped on Jackie and pile-drived him right down on the floor. And the referee gets David Novak and Robert Gibson broken up. Sends Jerry Novak out of the ring. And it's getting wild and woolly. Here comes Robert around to administer to Jackie Welch, referee, at the count of 5. Robert saying, hey, wait a minute, wait a minute. He's telling Malone was involved while the okay. That's going to be it. The bout is going to end there, Dave, with Jackie Welch being counted out, so the match is over with. Rhubarb time, look out.
Both bounty hunters and Robert and Jackie can't give him any help.
Jackie's still jarred from that Malone move. And here comes Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee. Bounty hunters hop to the ring as they slip out the other side and head for the dressing room. They're going to come out the winners. Referee Jerry Calhoun telling the guys to keep away. They're going to end up getting into a fine situation. The match was over with, so that Lawler and Dundee were not interfering in another match. Jerry and Bill Dundee and Robert Gibson trying to get Jackie out of there and administer to him. Dave, how about your time on that one?
4 minutes, 36 seconds. 4:36 when the referee counted Jackie Welch out, unable to get back in the ring.
10 count on Jackie Welch, unable to get back up into the ring in time, and with obvious reason, Robert Gibson telling the referee as they're going out, still talking about the move Chuck Malone put on him, while Robert and David were involved. See if I can find my chair. I had to get in out there in a hurry. So the official winners are going to be the bounty hunters, as a matter of fact, in 4 minutes and
36 seconds.
36 seconds. Okay, we've got more action. Right now we're going to take time.
He needs to be at the zoo somewhere.
Now look, Chuck, let me tell you this. I want you to understand this. You come out telling me, get something straight. I want to get something straight with you. Fine, you have the option not to wrestle her. But let me tell you what the other side of the coin is. The fact of the matter is that you signed a contract with the Jarrett Welch Company to wrestle Heather Feather. I don't care what you say about it. I saw you sign it right out here, and you have the option. Fine. If you want to break that contract, then you can pack your bags and just leave the territory, and there won't be any managing.
What do you mean I can leave?
It's very simple. When you sign the contract, if you want to break the contract with Jarrett Welch, fine. If you want to stay around with your boys and all, then you will wrestle. Now, the option is simply yours, Chuck Malone. It is a question of whether you want to show up and live up to the contract that you signed, or whether you want to pack the bags. And I don't think there'll be too many tears about it if you elect to take yourself out of here. The people sometimes have gotten a little bit tired of some of the actions of Chuck Malone, but I think it's pretty clear-cut. It's your choice, Chuck, and we'll just make that clear to you, as long as you were making something clear to us. So
I have got to wrestle this gorilla that belongs in a cage somewhere, right?
Oh, you can always leave if you'd like to leave. If you don't want to break your contract, you will wrestle Heather Feather in the action Monday night down at the Coliseum, because it's on paper, and I think it's just that...
Well, they tricked me in that contract. They tricked me into sanity.
Chuck, your name is on the contract. Now, I don't care what it says. The name is on the contract, and you have an entire option. If you don't want to wrestle it, fine. Pack it up and take it on out. The Jarrett Welch Company, I'm certain, will not want anybody around breaking a contract like that. You signed it, and the option is up to you.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Lance Russell. I'm going to wrestle that gorilla, and I'm going to get in that ring with her, and when I do, the blood's going to be in your hands. It's going to be all on yourself, Lance Russell, because I'm going to hit her so hard in the mouth that's going to split both her eyeballs open. And the blood will be on your hands, and don't you forget it.
Okay, fine, Chuck. Fine, Chuck. Well, you got the option, friend, and you elected to take it. You'll get in there with Heather Feather, as we wanted to get the superstar and the king. Okay, I want to officially take the opportunity to tell you that it was... For the fans, a great, great night when you all won the Southern Tag title. But you've got in Memphis, Tennessee, at the Coliseum, you've got yourself a tremendous...
Before we get into that, we're going to polish the belts up, and we're taking them down to Selma, Tennessee. That's walking tall country, right? I'm going to walk around with tippy toes so I don't feel out of place.
Okay.
We're going to be in Selma tonight. We're going to be over there tonight. Yeah, let me just say, this is a great situation for Bill and I to be in. We won the titles last week. We were very fortunate to do that. Now, the first thing we heard, that was Monday night, the first thing we heard Tuesday morning, the promotion called us and said, well, the bounty hunters naturally want a return match. And we said, well, we don't really have to give them one, do we? They said, no, you don't. At least not for 30 days. You don't have to give anybody one. So we got to thinking. They said, but they want one really bad. And I told Bill, I said, you know, we may just give them that match, but let's add a little stipulation on there. Chuck Malone has been in everybody's hair, so we decided to get in his hair. We told the promotion, if they want that match bad enough, if they want us to put up those belts, then Chuck Malone will have to put up his hair. And do you know that idiot agreed to do it? So what's going to happen down there Monday night? You're talking about Chuck Malone packing his bags and leaving. What's going to happen Monday night in Memphis is this. He will probably leave because nobody is going to be able to stand the humiliation that he's going to suffer. He's going to get beat by a woman, and then he's going to have his head shaved, and after that, nobody will be able to show their faces.
He said he's going to be down there, so I know that. Handsome Jimmy, yes, sir.
You know, I got a hell of an idea, Daddy. I got a hell of an idea, baby. You know, Handsome Jimmy, the hottest thing, baby, in the world, baby. You know, this is Star Wars, mama. You know, everybody wants to pay to see Handsome Jimmy, and what I want right now, I want to talk to the Kingfish. You know, Kingfish, I want to talk to Superstar, my partner, Superstar. Can you imagine Handsome Jimmy, Superstar, and Kingfish in the same ring at the same time with, baby, Chuck Malone and the Bounty Hunters? What do you think about that, Star?
That's a great idea, and I believe we'd like to do that. But listen, hey, Handsome, will you just listen for a minute? Come back to us for 1 minute. It's a title match. That means you can't have a six-man title match, right? And the main thing we want is to scalp Chuck Malone, and we can't do that in a six-man tag, or he won't have it because the belt is on the line, and that's the only reason he'll put his hair on the line, right?
Yeah. Hey, brother, if that's the only thing you're worried about is Chuck Malone losing his hair, you know, Handsome Jimmy will pull him bald-headed, Daddy. I'll take his hair one at a time, Daddy. I'll pull the man, forget shaving the hair. Kingfish, do it, Daddy. Do a little pull. You got a lot of pull here, baby. You got some pull, Daddy. So pull Handsome Jimmy in on the main event, Daddy.
Handsome, just like, you know.
Some things he doesn't understand.
He's putting me on the spot here.
Yeah.
See, here's what we're trying to say, Handsome. You're putting me in the middle and on the spot. Like Bill said, I'd love it. It'd be a great main event. But it's a title match. If we don't put up the titles, Chuck Malone's not going to put up his hair, so we're going to have a four-man tag.
What do you mean four-man tag, man? I said I want a six-man tag. This is what's happening. The people deserve the six-man tag. They want to see a six-man tag. This is what's happening. You know what, Kingfish? I think I feel a little jealousy here. I think I feel... Hey, Shortwit, go play with some short people. I think I feel a little jealousy here, Kingfish. I think I feel just a, you know, I'm getting some bad vibes. You know, I'm getting some bad vibes from Kingfish here, baby.
Maybe later they can get this thing together and talk about a six-man or something like that.
What we're trying to do, Handsome, is trying to tell you that we are the tag team champions. We're going to defend the belts, not in a six-man tag, but in a four-man tag. There's no jealousy. Your music was great, baby. I'll be the first one to admit it. It was fine. There's no jealousy, but we can't have a six-man match and get his hair at stake. And I think the people want to see Chuck Malone bald-headed more than they want to see a six-man tag, so that's what we're going to give them.
You know, Kingfish, and I want to tell you something right now, very honestly. I think you hold something against Handsome Jimmy. I think, baby, every time since Handsome Jimmy hit Memphis, I think since I hit Memphis, Tennessee, Daddy, you know, Handsome Jimmy's the hottest property, Daddy, since Coca-Cola, baby. And I want to say something. I feel a little tension because, you know, the Kingfish is not as popular as it used to be because all the people dig Handsome Jimmy now. You understand? This is what's happening now, baby. Handsome Jimmy's what's happening now. You know, just a few months Handsome Jimmy's been in Memphis, Tennessee. Hey, already Handsome Jimmy's got his own candy store. Go by, they say, Handsome Jimmy, sit you get some free candy, fans. Do it for Handsome Jimmy, baby. That's Overton Square, Daddy. This is what's happening, baby.
You think we're trying to cut you out of the main event, right? What your problem is, Handsome, is we can't cut you out of something you weren't cut in on to begin with. You're not in the main event. We're the main event. What the problem is, you're on a preliminary match. Do you know what a preliminary match is? That's where the promoters put preliminary wrestlers. That's where you are. That's the whole problem.
Let me tell you the whole thing right now. I know exactly what it is, Daddy. You know you are jealous of Handsome's body, Daddy. You are jealous of my... You're very sick, baby.
Let me tell you something, Handsome Jimmy. I'm not jealous of you because let me tell you just exactly what you are. No, you guys don't have to come out here. We'll settle this right now. Huh? You think I'm jealous of you? You're crazy.
You're right, Daddy. I want to tell you what this is for, baby. This thumbnail is painted because Handsome hitchhikes at night. And this is nothing. This thumb is nothing, Daddy, because you ought to see my toes.
Yeah, you hitchhike at night. You know why you hitchhike at night? I don't think you hitchhike at night. Ever since you've been down in Memphis, as you like to call it, from the Big Apple, you bum rides off of me and Dundee. You didn't even bring a car down here. We have to haul your butt around, and you call it back hitchhiking at night. You don't hitchhike nowhere.
I want to tell you something, baby, right now. This is what's happening, Daddy. Handsome Jimmy's what's happening, baby. I want to tell you something right now. You did this boy wrong. You did this man wrong right here, your own flesh and blood. Your old lady's got skinny legs, and your old lady's got skinnier legs, Daddy.
Let me tell you something, Valiant. The only thing you've done since you've been in Memphis is screwed up this boy's mind. You know what I did for him? I did nothing for him because that's what he needed done for him. He needed to make it on his own. What'd you do? You come along, you got his hair bleached out blonde. He looks like a fag just like you. You screwed his mind up. He don't know which way he's going because he's got his nose stuck so far up your rear end that you don't know.
Hey, come on now. Let's
You just keep my name out of it, okay?
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead. Stick with him. He's your real pal here. Look at him. Look what he's done for you.
You're nothing, Daddy. You're garbage, baby. You're garbage, Daddy. If you want to prove this, Daddy, get in that ring right now, baby. We'll prove this right now.
Nowhere, baby. We don't...
Let's get it, yeah. Take your arm out. Hey, come on, Jerry. Don't just start. Just forget it. Okay, we'll get it back together here. Let's take time out, and we're going to be back with you in just a
Say real quick, I want to apologize to all the fans out there because, like you said, when you lose your temper, you don't think about what you're saying. But I ain't apologizing to Valiant because he's a jerk, and anytime he wants to get me in the ring, he knows where he can find me.
Okay, fine. Let's get on to it and get the introductions, and in whatever time we have left, we'll get the tag match underway. Davey?
This one goes to the expiration of time, introducing at a total of 501 pounds from Belfast, Ireland, the Kelly twins, Mike and Pat. Going against them in this match, a total of 458 pounds from Australia, the superstar Bill Dundee. From Memphis, Tennessee, the King, Jerry Lawler. This match to the expiration of time, referee Bill Mack.
Yeah, if we don't get the jackets off, we're not even going to get to start the opening bell until we get somebody out. Okay, it's Mike Kelly starting against Bill Dundee. We're ready for it.
Not too much time. Time definitely a factor in this expiration of time match. But we're underway. Mike Kelly. Dundee back on the ropes. Referee Bill Mack there. Call for break. Whoa, Dundee. Right into action against the bigger Kelly. Back in the corner. Dundee makes the tag, and the King in there against Mike Kelly. Mike back to his corner. He did not make a tag on his brother, so it's still Mike Kelly in there. Lawler off the rope. We only have about 1 minute left before our time expires, and we'll have to ring the bell.
1 minute.
Kelly's now make a tag. This will be Pat coming in. hip throw by Kelly, and Lawler on the mat. Referee Bill Mack starting the count. He's only able to get a 1 count, though, before Lawler can pull that right shoulder
seconds.
up. 1/2 minute left in our expiration of time. $15 seconds left. Time running out. Oh, Kelly almost ran into a fist by Bill Dundee. Stopped. Lawler got him from behind. Time winded down, and there it is. The time has run out.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, would have been nice to have a lot more time for the match, but we are, in fact, out of time. The bell has to be rung, and that is going to be it. A short match. Interesting, nonetheless, the action between the Kellys, Mike and Pat, Lawler and Dundee. Minute 36, time has run out.
Time has expired in there, and I'm very sorry we didn't get to see more of the Kellys against Lawler and Dundee. These Kelly boys have been impressive. We said that a little bit earlier, and obviously Lawler and Dundee know where it's all about when they get inside that ring. So it's going to end up in a draw as our time has expired, and we're going to... Jerry the King Lawler coming in with friends, and we want to talk to Jerry about the action tomorrow night, not Monday night. We're wrestling Sunday night right there in the Mid-South Coliseum. Jerry, Idol was out here a little bit earlier, and he's talking
you
about...
did say with friends, didn't you? Because,
yes.
you know, I saw Idol's interview, so I wanted to show him a little bit of what he is in store for. I heard him say last week, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Well, take a look right here behind me of what's in store for you tomorrow night, Mr. Austin Idol. You know, he had the Assassins and Condrey and Carson out here with the belts. Well, those aren't going to be the only lumberjacks down there tomorrow night, because Robert Fuller is going to be here, Bill Dundee, Jimmy Golden, and Tommy Gilbert, and every one of them is going to have a big, nice leather strap in their hand. And in case there's any misunderstanding whatsoever, you know, I want to set the record straight. I want to make things clear. Austin Idol comes out here and he tells everybody he wanted this match, that he wanted a single match with me. Yeah. You know how much he wanted a single match with me. We've waited weeks and weeks to get this match. We had to go through 4-man tags, then 6-man tags. And to be perfectly honest with you, the only way they were able to sign this single match is the promotion finally went to Austin Idol. You know this to be a fact.
That's right.
They said, Austin Idol, if you don't wrestle Jerry Lawler in a single match, you've wrestled your last match in Memphis, Tennessee. True. That's the only way he agreed to wrestle in this match. So now, Mr. Idol, you can stand out here and tell everybody how brave you are, when in fact we've seen more guts on a skeleton than you've got, and we're going to prove it down there tomorrow night, Austin Idol. Let me take another minute to explain this match. I don't know if he knows what he's in for, because I've been in one. You remember Joe LeDuc. That's one thing I learned from Joe LeDuc, was about a lumberjack, Canadian lumberjack match. I've been in one, brother. What happens is when the going gets too hot and heavy in the ring and you want to go out and take a rest, take a breather outside the ring, you're going to run into 8 gentlemen like this with straps in their hand, and every one of these guys have promised me, Austin Idol, they've promised me that when you come out there, if you come and stand on that floor for 10 seconds, when you get back in that ring, your mother won't recognize you, because they're going to wear you out, son. So come on down there, Austin Idol. I know what he's thinking. I want you to just feel that for a second, Lance. Just feel that, baby. Let me tap that. Come on down there, Austin Idol, tomorrow night, because we got a little surprise in store for you. If this gets too hot for you in the ring and you want to take a little breather, well, we got something for you outside the ring. One way or the other, it's not going to be a fun night for Austin Idol tomorrow night.
Sir. I would say that the Canadian lumberjack match with the belts flying is going to be some kind of, it'll be more healthy in the ring.
Everybody's heard of the old belt line. Well, we're going to send Austin Idol through the belt line tomorrow night.
Okay, we'll be looking for it down there. Bell time is 8 o'clock, and you'll see that Canadian lumberjack match coming up when Austin Idol and Jerry...
Last night I was supposed to be in Tupelo, Mississippi, and I did not make it down there last night, but I will be there this coming Friday. Robert Fuller and myself will be there for a big Texas death match in Tupelo. I wanted to mention that. And also, I wanted to say hello to a lot of people that some fine folks that I got to see last Sunday over at the Johnson Care Home. I judged a beauty contest, and the winner was Crown the Queen. She was, I think, 89 years old. Lovely little lady, and it was a lot of fun, so I want to say hello to all of those folks. Now, you want to talk about Monday night and Tora Tanaka.
Tanaka, the Southern Heavyweight Champ. I had a chance to talk to him a little bit earlier, and if you would, I'd like for you to stay here and listen to what this big Japanese wrestler had to say in terms of his championship.
Okay.
We have not had the opportunity to interview the new Southern heavyweight champion, Professor Tora Tanaka. We'd asked him once before, and that was after he and Robert Fuller had won the Southern tag team. He refused to come back and wrestle with him, but he did win the Southern heavyweight title, and he will be putting that on the line against a guy who has held the title longer than anybody. That's next Monday night, Jerry the King Lawler.
Let me first say this to Mr. Lawler if he's watching monitor. Mr. Lawler, you are an ex-king. I am a king, number one. You are past king. You're no more champion. You're no more number one king. I am the king now. All ex-kings looking forward to try to come back to take title again. But you, I'm going to make you ex-king. You wait and see.
Professor Tora Tanaka, the Southern heavyweight champion. When he's through with an interview, he's through with an interview.
Didn't have a lot to say, but that didn't keep him from talking, did it? Yeah. You know, and I couldn't really hear exactly what I said, but I've heard through the grapevine some of the things that he's been saying. I know one thing that he's got in mind. You know, I think he says that, well, I'm sure that he is well-versed in martial arts. He thinks he's a big karate and judo champion, and he has said that there's no way that anybody with a broken hand is going to be able to stand up to a black belt in karate. Well, what we're going to find out, you know, he says he's the champion, but to me, he certainly hasn't convinced me that he's a champion. He hasn't beaten anybody. He didn't beat Ron Fuller to win the belt. You know, the belt was handed to him. Right. He didn't beat Jimmy Golden last week. He hadn't beaten anybody, and he's walking around calling himself the champion. Well, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the last person that won that title was Austin Idol, because Ron Fuller didn't beat Austin Idol. If the truth was known about that, I won the belt for Ron Fuller by distracting Austin Idol. That's how he got the belt. Then Tora Tanaka, he gets the belt handed from Ron Fuller over to him. Now, I've beaten Austin Idol. We got him out of my hair finally. He's gone for good, I hope. Now we got Tora Tanaka, who's calling himself a champion. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Tanaka. You call me the ex-king if you want to. Well, you can ask anybody around this town who the king is, and they're going to tell you it's me right here. And if you think I'm the ex-king, you just come down there Monday night, and you're going to find out. The only thing that's going to be an X in that Mid-South Coliseum Monday night is going to be you. You're going to be the ex-Southern heavyweight champion. We're going to get that belt back around my waist where it belongs, where it rightfully belongs, Mr. Tanaka, and we're going to just see how well this cast can stand up against that martial arts, and I think it's going to do pretty doggone well.
We'll look at it. That'll be coming up Monday night. Good luck to you down there, Jerry, and we're going to see him back in action trying to get his belt back. We got young Mike Stallings, who will be making his first appearance in quite some time on Studio Wrestling, and we'll get to him in just a
When I was in match with Mr. Lawler, I had beat this man fair and square inside ring, because when referee touch me, that means I am automatically a winner. But automatically, this referee distract me, get up, and I think he had Mr. Lawler roll me up, try to pin me. But whatever happened inside there, I don't know what happened with Mr. Idol. I had no idea he gonna come inside ring. But you see, when this referee and this Mr. Lawler try to double cross me, that'll make me only one thing in my mind, is put this man in hospital. I put several men in hospital, like Mr. Wrestling number 2, Mr. Danny Hart, and many other wrestlers. Mr. Lawler made me so mad, I put this man in hospital.
All right, now, on behalf of the referee, you got to say, and the people are going to see in here, prior to the count that you're talking about, you had grabbed the referee and deliberately...
No.
Let's just roll it right now. Let's take a look at it. I want to see this because this was a Southern heavyweight match for the champion.
And don't forget, I am a still champion, no matter what. I am a still champion. Mr. Lawler is no more king. I'm the king now.
You got the title. There's no question about it. But what happened in this bout is absolutely, it's already been said, but I want to tell you, it is the most unbelievable thing, unnecessary thing.
Hey, other opponents could have referees the same way. Why difference with me?
Yeah, well, I'm not really talking about the fact of grabbing the referee, Jerry Calhoun, in there. They'll see it. Now, they'll take a look at it and let them judge for themselves. But that's exactly the...
Okay, what you say with the cast? You call that illegal, using cast?
The referee he was over talking...
This man have no right to be inside the ring with the cast on.
Okay, the referee has talked to Lawler about it. He talked to him constantly during the match about the use of it. But the situation of what Austin Idol did...
Every time we use the cast, that's not fair.
Yeah, All right, well, you can say anything you want to. He's going for the abdominal stretch on Professor Tanaka right there, but there's no submission from the champion, and Lawler is...
I don't see no action there. I don't see me touching this referee. The referee automatically hit Jerry Lawler by himself.
Sure, yeah,
now
you
look at there. 1, 2, 3. I beat this man.
All right, now the referee is coming around. He is addled here where you pulled him into, Lawler. I don't care what you
Make no difference. I got the man to beat. He's supposed to... I win this match, fair and square.
That's your version of it. Now, keep looking here, because I want to see what the man who was sitting at ringside...
I don't pay no attention. All I know is I have one man inside the ring. That was Mr. Lawler. Yeah. I care only for him. You see how he sneak up behind me? Yep. He thought he can beat me like that.
And there comes Austin Idol in, and Austin Idol, who was sitting at ringside, had paid Tanaka to sit at ringside.
That's right. My $1,000 is very good. But you see, I don't care what happened to Lawler. All I care for is what I'm going to do to him. That's what I want. That's why I told Mr. Idol inside here, grab his legs, and I tie him up because I'm going to show this man some punishment.
Yeah, you sure did. You got him when he was blinded. There
blind
you
my eye.
Over to the rope.
He's not blind.
Yeah,
what's the matter?
Certainly
he's the back of still can see.
Yeah, and what you do is come in and Idol holds him out while you take that elbow that broke those blocks and hammer it down in his back in there, trying to put him in the hospital.
Look, I have no way of controlling myself, because once he making me mad inside here, that's the finish for him.
Yeah, well,
and I usually get mad all the time with my opponents. I don't care what.
You finished him all right after Idol had done what he did.
This man have no right to be inside the ring with me.
Okay, well,
you understand? You look at the king. He's king. What's the king there? Laying down flat on his back.
And there you're using that foot again right in the middle
The king
of the back.
is standing on his feet. That's me, Tanaka.
I know.
Now, you see, he even have his pawns come out and help the king. But he's no king. He's the pawn.
They had to get him out of there, and that's what they came out to do, was to get you guys out of there and stop pounding on his back in there.
Don't worry. These rascals come back here. They're going to get some more medicine for me, too.
Look at it. Look at that. That ink or whatever it was that Idol.
I don't know what I don't pay. All I know is that
Well, I know. There it is. I can see it right there. And I know exactly what happened to him, and it was after that.
How can you see what happened when you see outside ring?
All right, well, take a look right here.
Okay.
You can see it.
How can I look? I don't see that.
Right
I was on the other side. You see me?
Yeah,
I did not see that happen.
Okay. But that didn't stop you from putting the elbow to him.
Hey, that man is deciding with me no matter what. I still get this man because he's still inside the ring. It's my job there. Punish this man.
Yeah, you punish him, all right. You certainly did.
That's the only way.
Put him on a stretcher and send him out. And there's the cap off that bottle that Idol threw at him.
Yes.
You get a little better look at
I hope he rested in peace in the hospital.
Yeah, he ended up with a back in there that, as well as the fact that he got chemical burns in his eyes, and it just... it was a situation that was entirely unnecessary, and I'm not the only one that thinks so. Everybody there. Yeah, and here comes the guy who brought about the whole thing, but I'll tell you this, the AWA took a dim view of what you did in there, Austin Idol, and don't be flexing the muscles. Let me tell you, they have fined you $5,000 and have put you on probation in there, and your wrestling career just may be coming to a halt.
Baby, $5,000 ain't nothing to me. That's chicken feed, that's pocket change. I dropped that on the blackjack table in 2 seconds. Let me lay something on you, baby. The only reason Nick Bockwinkel still has his power is because he refuses to wrestle Austin Idol, baby. But Harley Race didn't refuse to wrestle the Idol last night in the Cow Palace when there was 26,000 people seeing me pin Harley Race in 18 minutes. But he was smart enough to refuse to put the title on the line. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the National Wrestling Alliance heavyweight champion of the world right now. But let's forget about the West Coast momentarily. Let's get to the Mid-South. Let's get down to what's happening. Jerry Lawler, I don't care if your eyes are burning, baby. If it's too hot in the kitchen, then get out, baby, because it's going to get a whole hell of a lot hotter. Right. Austin Idol's on a rampage. This whole thing's turned into a frenzy now. People saying, when will the Idol stop? What will it take to stop this man? Is there anybody who can stop him? Women writing in and say, Austin Idol, we love you. You got the sexiest body in the world. Men writing in saying, Austin Idol, you're stealing our girlfriends. You're stealing our wives. You're stealing our women. Austin Idol, please go. Please leave us. The men sending money into me, saying take a plane, take a train, take a car, take a boat,
Just get up. Just steal all the wives, all the ladies. Robert Fuller, long, lanky legs, and Bill Dundee, superstar, so he calls himself Billy Dundee. They ain't seen nothing yet, baby. They don't know what action is. They don't know what a kind of a dilemma they've gotten themselves into now. Tanaka-san and myself, the late great, the one and only, Austinado.
Okay, we heard all of it, and I tell you what, there's no way. Yeah.
They're going to have to get up and sweep them out of the arena.
Yeah. Like they say, Tennessee, amen, eh?
Alrighty, we're back down and ready for action right here. D. David is the king. Jerry Lawler hops into the ring. And here comes Gorgeous George and Professor Toru Tanaka. Okay, Davey, let's have the introductions.
It's going to be a single match, one fall, 15-minute time limit. Introducing from Japan, 277 pounds on the left of your screen, Toru Tanaka. Going against him from Memphis, Tennessee, at 234 pounds, the king, Jerry Lawler. One fall, 15-minute time limit match. Referee Jerry Calhoun. Tanaka's manager, Gorgeous George Jr. in his corner. Good. They're ready to get into action before the bell rang. Gorgeous George Jr. now in the corner, sitting in the chair. Toru Tanaka with the king. Lawler back in the corner. King fighting his way out of there. Professor Tanaka maintaining a hold. Lawler powers out of it. Lawler returning some of the punishment that was dished out by Professor Tanaka earlier. Both of them on their feet. Lawler back near his corner. Tanaka. Right hand, he's jabbing with it. That holds across the throat. Referee Jerry Calhoun counting a break. He got a 3 count. Gigi speared Lawler in the back with that riding prop. Lawler was back here in the corner. You might have been able to hear Gorgeous George Jr. instructing Tanaka, chop, chop. Tanaka holding on, though. He drops Lawler to the mat. Cover, count of 1. 2 count. Lawler breaks it. Might have been some hair pulling there. I believe there was. View partially blocked by Gorgeous George Jr. There was a choke again, and again, referee Jerry Calhoun was counting for that break. Tanaka's elbow meets the mat. Lawler coming back, both hands flying. That was a good right. He put Tanaka on the mat with it.
Come on, Lawler!
Tanaka working on Lawler's knee. He chopped him in that knee. Lawler fell back toward the corner, holding the knee in pain, and then Tanaka immediately, with the kicks, went to work on the knee. Tanaka working pressure points again, center of the ring. 4 minutes gone in this match. 4 minutes gone. Tanaka back in the corner. Lawler after him there. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to move him back off the ropes. Tanaka over here in the corner. Some kind of powder spilling out of his hand. Lawler ducked. Referee got hit with it. Jerry Calhoun, something thrown in his eyes by Tanaka. Gorgeous George Jr. in there. Lawler working on here. The stomper is in. That referee is saying ring the bell. It's going to be a disqualification on Tanaka, Gorgeous George Jr. and the stomper in there now, but all three of them working on Lawler. Tanaka holding him up in the air. Gorgeous George Jr. climbing the ropes. Here come Dundee and Robert Fuller. There goes Gorgeous George Jr. The stomper heads back toward the dressing room. Lawler inviting Gigi back into the action.
Let's clear out. Everybody clear out.
Fuller.
Robert Fuller's helping clear things out, as well as Bill Dundee. They had Lawler stretched out there, and George was getting ready to come down on his back while they had him pulled out with Tanaka in there with a Mongolian stomper in there.
Championship wrestling right from beginning to end. Davey?
Oh, we got a tag team match to get things going today. Sputnik Monroe Jr. will be in here teamed with Danny Davis going against the King, Jerry Lawler, and the superstar, Bill Dundee, in a tag team match.
Let me stop right there and say that for a lot of the folks that don't know, they do now. By golly, Dundee and Lawler are once again the Southern Tag Team Champions. We're going to have a chance to see them winning that crown, too, so we'll be looking at that.
All right, coming up later. And also, we have another tag team match, which Tony Charles will be teamed with Tommy Gilbert Jr. against Larry Latham and Wayne Ferris. Single match.
Good one.
Yeah. Yes. Dallas Montgomery against Rick Oliver. And we'll have Jerry Bryant against Big Ron Bass.
Hey, that's going to be something interesting. Great experience, too, for Tommy Gilbert working with Tony Charles, a fine veteran. Like working with his dad. He's going to learn a lot. That'll be a terrific match, too. Looks like we got a lot of action. You stay right there. And by golly, I'll tell you what, we're going to crank her up and get ready to go with that opening bout in just a moment.
Total of 444 pounds. On the left of your screen from Jackson, Tennessee, Danny Davis. And from Chicago, Illinois, Sputnik Monroe Jr. On the right of your screen, total weight 458 pounds. From Australia, the superstar, Bill Dundee. And from Memphis, Tennessee, the King, Jerry Lawler. This match, one fall, 15-minute time limit. Referee, Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, there are the introductions in there. Davey and Davis and Monroe, Dundee and Lawler ought to make a fine pairing for a fact. The King getting rid of his crown and Dundee coming out of that classy jumpsuit. Adds that little Dundee touch to it. He gets out of it. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to get him straight on this side as to who's going to start. And it will be, in fact, Danny Davis against Bill Dundee. Ready for hell time. Here we go.
Underway, non-title match. Even though Lawler and Dundee do now have the Southern Tag belts, they are not on the line in this one. Bill Dundee against Danny Davis. Dundee puts Davis on the mat hard. Dundee with a body scissors on Davis. Dundee breaks the hole. Dundee flips Davis to the mat. Oh, Davis kicks him back. Davis on his feet quickly. These two have had some battles in recent months. They have had 2 or 3 single matches against each other. Dundee makes the tag. A double flip by the King and the superstar on Danny Davis, and he works his way over to the corner and says, come on, I want to tag. Sputnik Monroe Jr. not too sure. He wants to get in there. But the tag is made, and Sputnik Monroe Jr. will be going against Jerry the King Lawler. King checking out the wrestling attire of Sputnik Monroe Jr. It's colorful. King with a leg drop. Step over toe hold, and Sputnik Monroe Jr. on the mat.
Both shoulders down briefly. 1 count by referee Jerry Calhoun. Danny Davis complaining to the referee that was an illegal move by the King. But referee Jerry Calhoun said, nope, I saw it. Nothing wrong with that. Sputnik Monroe Jr. considering hair pulling, being stopped by the referee. Lawler chasing him around the ring. Monroe leans outside the ropes.
We got to make mention of Sputnik Jr.'s attire.
Yeah, the only comment I've been able to think of so far is colorful. Unusual, maybe. How about just polka dot?
It's even too wild for just polka dot.
Yeah. Tag made. Here comes Dundee. Superstar with a body slam on Sputnik Monroe Jr. He follows with a foot. Monroe to the corner. Makes the tag on Danny Davis.
Old adversary right here. Look at that Dundee rushing.
Dundee waits for it, rolls into the mat. Davis bounces back to his feet, over to the rope. Threatens Dundee with a fist, and then back into the ropes again.
Yeah, he's putting on a little weight, getting a little heavy.
Yes, he is. I think when we first saw Danny, he weighed about 201, 222, something like that. He's up to around 212, 216 now. The King, he's firing that left hand at Danny Davis. Puts him down to the mat with a right. Referee Jerry Calhoun here, warning him about closed fist. Danny Davis gets the tag on Sputnik Monroe Jr. and takes himself out to the apron. Monroe backs Lawler onto the rope. Fires the brawl on. Lawler, puts him down to the mat, too.
Jerry Calhoun, a referee, not having much luck getting it across to Lawler that this is not a boxing match.
Right.
He's popped him, he and Davis, a good many times.
Now Monroe, shake hands, make friends. The King, alert. Monroe back to his corner, conference with Danny Davis. No tag made, so Monroe staying in there. Davis jumps through the ropes, grabs the King from behind. Monroe, right fist. He didn't make very good contact, though. Everybody in there now. Dundee back out on the apron. Monroe, he thought about the right fist, didn't use it. He climbs the ropes instead. Up on the top rope, Lawler gets to him. Flips it back in the center of the ring, starts pounding on him with a right hand. We're coming up on the 6-minute mark in a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Monroe Jr. run into a broad arm thrown by Bill Dundee. Cover 1, 2, 3. That's it. Lawler stands guard to keep Danny Davis from interfering. And Lawler and Dundee get the win. 6 minutes, 7 seconds the time on it.
Yes, good scrap in there. It went to the team that was heavily favored. Lawler and Dundee, obviously, a top-flight tag team. They have held Southern tag titles, now being the second occasion. They had it before for a long time. But Davis and Monroe battled them right at it. Couldn't do that much with them. At times had a good move on them, and by golly, for about 6-7 minutes, something like that. Right. Want to take the chance right now to hop up here and walk around and congratulate the new Southern Tag Champion, Jerry and Billy. Congratulations on that big win of the Southern Tag Championship from Fuji and Tanaka. I know that it was a situation that you guys feel right back at home now.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if you realize this or not, but we were almost not the Southern Tag Team Champions because Gorgeous George, Fuji, Tanaka, they've been raising all kind of protests all week long because they said Bill was a substitute.
Yes.
And actually, the AWA ordered this match to clear it all up.
And it was a particular situation where Fuji and Tanaka, with the size, they weren't able to do a number with you two guys. You just stayed.
That's right, Lance. If they didn't want to put the belt on the line, they should never accepted the substitute in the first place, right? Now they're like babies. They're crying over spilt milk. But the milk, it's all going to be put back together, brother, because we're the champions and we're going to stay the champions.
You have the film of us winning?
Yeah, I wanted to take a look at that, but for the fans, too, again, congratulations. Let's take a look. We said a little bit earlier we were going to show you the match in which Bill Dundee and Jerry the King Lawler won the titles. Let's take a look at it right now. Southern Tag Team Championship belts on the line. Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee challenging Mr. Fuji and Professor Tanaka. Fuji goes after Lawler, rubs his hand at his eyes. Fuji does that ceremony with that salt before it's over with. He got out and picked up what was remaining in the little packet that he had. Here comes Tanaka after Lawler. And out he goes, and Fuji comes back after him. Referee runs Tanaka out, and Fuji takes over. Fuji. Lawler, partner tonight, Bill Dundee, was an unexpected pleasure for Bill and Jerry. Lawler was scheduled to challenge with Thunderbolt Patterson, but the Thunderbolt apparently had transportation difficulties and did not arrive. Lawler out of the ring, down on the floor. Lawler back up on the ring apron, and Fuji again waiting on him. We're 9 minutes into action, and Lawler comes back with a right. Takes a chop. Fires two more rights. Fuji chops him in the side, hammers in. And Lawler steps out of the way as Fuji goes sailing out on the floor. Dundee hammers that head into a turnbuckle, or rather a ring post. Here's the tag on Dundee, and here comes Billy. Dundee around behind into a sleeper, but Fuji catches him with a foot. Chop from Fuji. One. Lawler breaks it up. Foot on the head of Fuji, and there's a tag on Tanaka. Tanaka is sent back out, and here he comes in. I either jumped it or somebody missed it somewhere. I thought he had tagged before. From behind, Tanaka with a pressure point. Fuji comes in and just jerks Dundee backward by the hair. Once again, Dundee pulled backward. Dundee jumped for Lawler, missed him. Tanaka holding on to that pressure point. And Billy wraps him with a pretty good right hand. As Dundee tried to hurdle over Tanaka, he was caught in midair. Woo! The professor really decked him with a big chop. Goes back to the pressure point. Drop kick on Fuji from behind. Lawler after Tanaka. There goes Dundee out on the floor. Fuji going after Lawler. Lawler slammed. Fuji. Off the top rope, misses Lawler. Takes a big elbow. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. 14 minutes, 20 seconds. The new Southern Tag Champions, Lawler and Dundee.
I don't know what the bellyaching about. The guy that was supposed to wrestle beat him, right?
That's exactly what happened, man.
Thank you, Lance.
Right in there.
Pretty, huh?
Congratulations once again.
Can we come back and talk to you a little later?
Yeah, I certainly hope so someday. The King and the Superstar. And they are really pleased. You can tell they're full of themselves with those Southern Tag belts. We're going to be back with more wrestling action coming up in just a bit. Day up to 5 o'clock or all day on Monday. And back out here, rested after their bout. We're back. The King, you're back one more time. And I want to talk to you about
Brighten up your day, Lance.
Brighten up my day. Okay.
You never did ask me what happened to Thunderbolt Patterson.
Well, I hadn't gotten around to it. What happened to Thunderbolt Patterson?
I don't know yet, man. I haven't heard a word.
He was riding on one of them boats that was coming loose and they couldn't fly the plane, man. I guess that's
what it is, because the actual fact of the matter is that Thunderbolt did not make it for the Monday night.
I didn't really miss him too much, you know. I felt kind of funny standing out here holding hands with him last week.
Look.
I thought he had something else on his mind there for a while.
Listen, all right.
Let me ask you something, real quick. That guy has got a fascinating set of eyes, hasn't he?
All right, listen, I want to ask Bill Dundee this.
When his eyes and your nose would make a great thing. Go ahead.
Get out of here, will you? Turn my back on that guy. When Jerry came to you, when Thunderbolt was not there, you had just finished, and by the way, we'll get a chance to see it a little bit later on, that bout with Dick Slater. We've got it on tape. It was a vicious kind of thing. When he asked you about that, man, you were really not in any great shape to go back in that ring.
Well, that's right, Lance, but I said this a million times. When the King's in wrestling, when he's nothing else on his mind but wrestling, he's hard to beat. Now, I just went out there and stood in the corner, and there would go a little guy, go help him. But he beat him all by himself, brother. He didn't need me. So this is all I got to tell you. Monday night, it's all signed, brothers. Bill Dundee and the King signing. We're the champions, right? Okay, we're going in there with everything to do. We had nothing to lose last week, Lance Russell. They had the belts.
That's right.
This week, we got them. We're going to... Hey, this is home to us, brother. We ain't leaving Memphis. This is where we like to stay, Memphis, Tennessee. And we're going to be the champions. We may even we're Monday night walking down the street, who knows, but we're going to be the champions.
Okay. Well, Fuji and Tanaka aren't going to take this any lightly. They sure didn't, and all week long have been complaining and moaning the fact that it was an illegal bout because Dundee was not originally the one that's supposed to be in there.
Well, let me say, you know, sometimes I think it may be best to take things lightly. I think you can take a lot of things too seriously, and that's one reason, you know, I can stand here and joke because Bill and I feel at ease as a team, you know, and I think we think alike out there, and sometimes you get two guys that don't particularly care about being a team, and they think, you know, they're thinking on their own, and one man wants to try to outshine the other. Well, that's not the case with Bill and I. All we're in there doing is interested in winning the match, and that's why I enjoy being Bill's partner, and I think that's why we make a successful team, and that's also why Tanaka and Fuji don't have a chance against us Monday night.
Monday night will be the proof of the pudding. If you can do it 2 in a row, babe, you got it right then and there, because you've already got the belts, you own them, you beat Tanaka and Fuji. Monday night, it will be a return match, an opportunity for you to prove that it was no fluke win as they maintained that it was.
And can I say one word of commendation there? I don't know if you saw or not. You know, the referees get so much flack, but I gotta say, old Calhoun did a good job last Monday night, and I think he even helped us out maybe a little bit. And So, like you said, we do it 2 in a row. We're going to be the champions. I think that's what the people in this area have wanted, some champions they can be proud of, not a bunch of jerks like Fuji, Gorgeous George, the Stomper. You know, this kind of thing is when they come out here saying we are the champion, we represent the people in this area, you know, we don't need that kind of stuff. So we're going to try to give the people some champions they can be proud of.
All right, we'll be looking for 'em Monday night, Billy.
And the champions are going to Jackson tonight, brother. We're going to be in Jackson, Tennessee.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to be up there with you, too, Billy.
Right.
We'll see you there.
I'm not going to say what channel, but my radio show's on tonight 11.
No way to get along with him, the old king, Jerry Lawler. We'll be back with more action coming up in just a moment. Referee Jerry Calhoun telling Latham to keep the fist open, not doing much good. There's a tag on Ferris. And Dundee blasted again. Oh, Bill looking in bad shape. Comes back, though. You might know that little Aussie would pull it from somewhere, and he knocks him flat off his feet. Ferris down, and Latham comes in. Nails Dundee in his run out now. Lawler comes in and exchanges the favor on Ferris. Latham back in. Billy a real mess. They have banged on him and beat on him. Going after Dundee. Third fall, remember that. Oh, Billy nailed him one. But Latham and Ferris both in, and here comes Lawler. Jumps over Ferris to get to Latham. Knocks him right off the ring apron. There he's back at it. And Dundee caught in the crossfire over near Latham and Ferris's corner. Tag. Oh. Double clothesline on Billy, and there's a cover one. Lawler comes in at the nick of time. We're running out of time on our championship wrestling. I sure hope that we're going to be able to get all of this bout in. Dundee coming back. Slams Latham head to a turnbuckle. There's Lawler in, now all four are in. Dundee covering Ferris, but Calhoun trying to get Lawler to stop beating on Latham outside the ring. And Dundee trying to get the referee's attention. Ferris comes up from behind and nails him, going to his tights. He may have had something in his hand. Backdrop, sunset flip. But no referee. Here comes Calhoun, being held by Latham. Latham going back in. Drops on Dundee with the elbow, and Lawler pulls the referee back to help his partner out. Billy in the center of the ring. Count of 1, 2. Did he get 3? The referee's signifying, ring the bell. He got a 3 count. And he is going to call a pin. Yeah, I know, our time's running out. The referee, in fact, is awarding the belts to Latham and Ferris as the new Southern champions. Lawler nailed with a belt. Dundee grabs a belt. Slams Ferris. Oh, Dundee hit him right in the face. It is a brawl in the center of the ring. The referee who was abused outside of the ring, let's be fair to him, by both Latham and Lawler, got in and gave a count on Dundee with Latham covering, got a 3 count, and the belts were awarded to Latham and Ferris as Lawler and Dundee, grabbing the belts back, are pounding on Latham and Ferris, trying to get it stopped as the referee and having no success. Lawler bleeding where he was nailed with that belt. Ferris, Latham, the referee is down again. A wild melee going on in the middle of that ring as Lawler and Dundee with those belts jerked away from Latham and Ferris. And Dundee comes around from the side. Yeah, I know it. Our time is running out right now. We're going to have to call it quits as our time is up on Championship Wrestling. It looks like that they are outside the ring. This is Lance Russell from the Tupelo Sports Arena. Hey, Mike, can you get the camera? They got a hell of a fight going on down there. See, can you get it down? Let me get the light stand off there. Bring it on. We'll go back and edit it. Yeah. It's caught under the damn door. I know it. We'll edit it back in. Okay, can you get it rolling? Lawler rattles a pan around. Dundee on the far side being stomped on the concrete. Can you get it? With Latham. In 27 years of it, I've never seen a battle like this. And Lawler trying to be strangled by Ferris, while Dundee with a mop wailing Latham. Promoter Jerry Jarrett, although he is not a promoter here, trying to get him to stop. He's got Dundee separated. Lawler, Latham having been racked up by that mop handle, Dundee going after him. It's just a street brawl. Jerry Jarrett with referee Jerry Calhoun. Jarrett trying to get it all stopped. Dundee picks up a table. Everything broken up. They're falling all over, mustard everywhere. Ferris laying in the middle of the floor. Dundee rushed out of there. Lawler trying to grab the belt, does away from Jerry Calhoun. Eddie Marlin, Herman Sheffield, the promoter, and Jerry Jarrett got them separated. Finally, they got Lawler and Dundee out of here. And Latham and Ferris furious that the belts have attacked Jarrett. And with Jarrett in the middle of the floor, are tearing his clothes off of him. Just let it roll.
Get somebody to help him.
Jerry Jarrett caught in the middle of a furious Ferris and Latham. Latham drops a table on him. Where's Eddie?
Eddie! Herman, get somebody!
Jarrett caught by Latham and Ferris as they're hollering they want the belts.
Damn it, Herman, get somebody!
Latham and Ferris just Ferris going after Herman Sheffield. Lawler and Dundee coming back. Dundee going after Latham. Ferris battling his way through. Latham tangling with Eddie Marlin. Okay, I don't think we need him on that.